In this video, I will show you how you can build your own AI startup step by step. From how you can come up with winning ideas to how you can build the actual startup, and finally the best ways to market it so you can reach the magical $10,000 MRR that every startup founder seems to be dreaming of. Now, finding a good idea is by far the most important step when building a startup. I see people spend 5 minutes on finding a good idea and then spend 5 months on building the actual startup, and then they launch and they're surprised that nobody wants to use their product. Don't make the same mistake. The majority of your time at the start should be spent on finding a winning idea. Now, how can you actually find a good idea? The best way is to find a problem you already have and wish there was a product to solve it, because chances are that if you have that problem, other people have it as well. So make sure you first find the problem and then you reverse engineer the solution, because the opposite simply does not work and it will lead your app to fail. So, I know I'm getting repetitive here, but don't find a solution and then try to market to your audience that they have an imaginary problem that your product solves. Now, to make it easy for you, I will show you some problems I already have and I wish there was a product for. And feel free to take those and build your startup around those if you want. One problem I have is manually adding calendar tasks. I think that should have already been fixed if I'm gonna be honest. Having to look up multiple sites when searching to buy something, and having to design my thumbnails myself. All these 3 ideas could be an idea for an AI startup. And now that we have found the problem we're trying to solve, it is time to create the solution for it. You can do it by coding the whole startup yourself. It would probably take you years to complete it. Or you can make it in like 1/100th of a time by using AI no-code builders like Lovable, Bolt, and Cursor. For the purpose of this video, I will use Lovable and build the first one of my ideas, which is adding calendar tasks using AI. In order to use it, we need to go to lovable.dev. But first, if you don't know what you should prompt Lovable to do, you can actually go over to ChatGPT, describe the app you want to build, and say, hey, can you give me a prompt I can paste to Lovable so it creates this app? Make it short as well, since it tends to give very long prompts, and click on enter. So it gave us this prompt, we'll simply copy it, come over to lovable.dev, simply paste it in, and click on enter. Now you can obviously write this prompt yourself and you can make it longer. I just tend to find that medium length prompts tend to do a little bit better, because it allows the AI some creativity, so it can improve upon the app by itself without you limiting it. And boom guys, Lovable just finished making the app, and look at that. We have this calendar over here. Let's test if it actually works. So let's say I want to walk my dog, for example, at 6 PM today. So I will simply type walk dog at 6 PM and I will simply come over here and click on add. An event was added, walk dog on May 15th at 6 PM, and if we scroll over here, can we see the event? No, really, it's not added in the correct time, so we definitely need to fix that. But it actually does add the event inside the calendar, which is a good first step. But let's also test the voice mode. So for example, I will come over here, click this, click on allow of course, and say. And as you can see guys, there is an error with voice recognition. So these are the 2 issues we definitely need to address immediately. To get Lovable's suggestion on these errors, I will come over here and enable chat mode, which allows us to simply chat with Lovable while it doesn't make any changes to the code and doesn't need any of our credits up, and it will still give us where it thinks the error is and how we can fix it basically. So I will come over here and say, the event wasn't added at the correct time in the calendar and there is an error processing the voice. How can I fix it? And simply click on enter. And now Lovable will literally tell us its suggestions of how we can fix this error. And guys, like things like that will happen. Like we will obviously not be able to make the app with the first prompt. Like there will be issues like that, but what you have to do is simply don't give up and ask the AI how you can fix them, and it will literally tell you how you can fix them. That's how vibe coding works. You're not gonna get the best product immediately. You're gonna have to troubleshoot a little bit, but at the end of the day, you will manage to build it. And Lovable gave us all the suggestions of why that issue exists and how we can fix it. It gave us for the voice input, as you can see over here, and it gave us for the event time placement. And over here, it is the plan of how we can fix it. You can read it if you want. I will simply click on implement the plan, because I do trust Lovable, and let's see what it actually comes up with. And guys, Lovable made the changes, so let's test them out. I will come over here and say walk dog at 6 PM today as always, and I will click on add. And look at that, it did add it inside a calendar this time, and it did add it in the correct date as well. The only problem is it didn't add it in the actual correct time frame. It says 12 AM here and 6 PM. But if we go over to the day section, the same error here as well. And if we go over here, you can see that it did add it as well in the 12 AM, because if this is like the whole day, this is like 12 AM. So now we fixed one problem, it wasn't being added inside the calendar. Now it's time to fix to actually put it in the correct time frame. So let's do that. So I enabled chat mode so I can chat with Lovable, and I said, good, you fixed it not being added inside the calendar, but it isn't added in the correct time frame inside the calendar. The 6 PM was added at the 12 AM box. Find out why that happens and give a plan of how you can fix it. And simply click on enter. And guys, like, I know this might seem like a silly issue, but when you're vibe coding with AI, you will run into many of these small silly issues. And as you can see, they might be a little bit stubborn and they don't go away immediately. The only thing you have to do is to keep pushing and keep talking with the AI so it actually makes the correct changes and gives you the app that you want. So Lovable gave me this detailed plan of how we can actually fix the issue. So I will simply come over here and click on implement the plan. And guys, I did manage to fix it, but I had to do a lot of troubleshooting for it. So what basically happened was Lovable had a hard time differentiating between the two different times. So the time that is inside the box when I add the task, and the time of the actual box in the left, which are the times of the calendar. So I had a hard time differentiating between these two and thought that since the time was added correct in the box, it was also added correct in the calendar, but it wasn't really. So what I did was come over here, I basically gave it a screenshot of that and explained the issue, and then it understood the difference and it made the necessary changes. So now the app works perfectly fine. So if I come over here and type dog walk 5 PM and click on add, as you guys can see, it was successfully added to the 5 PM time frame. So we successfully nailed this function of the app down. Now let's test if the voice works as well. So I will scroll all the way up here and I will click on the mic and nothing actually happens. So we definitely need to fix that. So I will come over here to Lovable and type, hey, when I click on the mic, nothing actually happens. Fix that. And I will click on enter. Alright, so let's check if it works. I will come over here and click on the mic icon, taking out the trash at 6 PM. And if I scroll all the way down to 6 PM, you can see that it was successfully added inside our calendar. Now you can obviously add in way more features to make this app even better. For example, you could make it synchronized with Google Calendar. And also you could potentially add in some AI agents that will help you complete your tasks. All these features could be added. I just made this prototype as an example to show you that you can actually build an AI startup simply with vibe coding. And that brings us on to the third and final step, which is none other than marketing the app. You could have the best idea about an app on the planet and you could have implemented it perfectly. But if you don't have any actual paying users, your app is literally worthless. And that's where marketing comes in, which is how you're going to bring users to your app. There are 3 possible ways you can do that. You can use paid ads, which if you're a beginner I wouldn't advise you to use, because they do require a very big budget and most beginners simply don't have a lot of money to spend. The next way, and the one that is the best in my opinion, is organic marketing. You basically will start posting content on social media. You can pick any platform you want, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want. Build an audience in that platform and then funnel it into your app. That is the exact marketing strategy I intend to use when I create my own AI startup. I will use the audience from this YouTube channel to funnel it inside the startup. Now obviously your product needs to be actually good, so people sign up to the product and they actually stay as paying customers, because that's why software is this valuable, because once people sign up they usually tend to stay for a very long time. That's why you see 10x multipliers on annual revenue when people sell the software companies, because they have very low cost to run, basically just the hosting, while still having a big base of paying users that pay monthly or even annually. And the final marketing method, and it's a method that everyone should use, is word of mouth. Now obviously, in order for you to be able to use word of mouth, first you need to actually have some users in your app, and then your app actually needs to be very good. So your initial users find your app valuable enough and they start referring it to their friends. But to incentivize that, you should give people some discounts in your app when they refer someone, or even possibly pay them when they refer somebody to your app, because that's how valuable it is, guys. If somebody can refer the friend and the only thing you have to do is pay them 20% of what that initial customer would give you, it's totally worth it, because then you would have 2 paying users rather than 1. So in my opinion, every AI startup founder, when they first get some initial traction, they should all launch some sort of affiliate program with actually good rewards. Another very good strategy is to give the first month completely for free, so they can try the app and see if they like it. if you actually have a good product, the chance of them staying and becoming paying customers is significantly higher than if you just didn't offer a free trial at all and they just saw the price tag and they were like, I don't want to risk it, I don't want to pay for it. So another very good strategy is always offer a free trial at the start. Trust me, it will be worth it. I do have way more marketing strategies that I can share in this channel. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to make a dedicated video about marketing and AI startup. But YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy this video over here where I used AI to complete high paying Upwork listings. So make sure you watch it and I will see you over there.